Yo, what is up, everybody? So let's go back again with another chapter from the story Winter, written by Jacob Harris. Remember to show love to the author with the links in the description. Like, comment, and share. Chapter 6. Despite her body being depleted of energy, Miyuki was fleeing from danger as best as she could. He surely would have no choice to escape from such a foe had not the mysterious woman allowed her to do so. Miyuki could think of nothing but the unsettling conversation he had with the woman as she trudged slowly through the snow. What are you? I don't really know. Does it really matter? It's not gonna change what's gonna happen to you. Do you have a name? My name is Natsuko. Natsuko? It seems God has quite a sense of humor, doesn't he? Never really liked the cold. I always liked it better when I was warm. But look at me now. Suppose it can't be helped, can it? Natsuko then made a move toward Miyuki, prompting the frightened woman to continue asking questions to postpone the inevitable. How did you become like this? They did this to me. They turned me into the monster you see before you. 500 years ago, Natsuko lived a simple life in her remote village of mostly farmers and fishermen. She was a very quiet woman and liked to keep to herself. The other villagers thought there was something odd about her and were always gossiping about her behind her back. It was harmless gossip for the most part, but one day the gossip became quite harmful. The growing season had become a very poor one, putting everyone on edge for the coming winter. And to make matters worse, many of the animals were going to be used for food had gone missing. Fingers were immediately pointed at Natsuko. One particularly nasty rumor that was going around was that Natsuko was practicing witchcraft. Many people had reported seeing her many a night entering the forest under the cover of darkness to do God only knows what. The villagers were nearly all friendly to Natsuko in the first place, but they took it to a new level when they began to shun her. Rarely would anyone even look at her as she walked by them. The children, however, weren't as well versed in the art of shunning. They would harass Natsuko by calling her witch, and some would throw rocks at her home. The villagers grew irate when one of their homes mysteriously burned to the ground. All blame was directly squared at Natsuko, who vehemently denied that she had anything to do with what happened. That anger only intensified when a man from the village reported finding several animal carcasses deep in the woods. Natsuko once again became the focus of the wrath of the villagers, who believed the animals had been used as sacrifices in some kind of demonic ceremony. And it was that same witchcraft that had led to such a poor harvesting season. The final straw was by far the most heinous of all acts could have been committed. Several of the children in the village had gone missing, and after a few days of tireless searching, the children were discovered to have been drowned in a lake. No trial was needed in this village. They had no time to ask permission to carry out justice, as there were several days away from the nearest village that had any kind of law enforcement. They had determined Natsuko was guilty, and the punishment worthy of such a heinous crime was death, to be administered immediately. So, on a most bitterly cold winter day, a group of men kicked down Natsuko's door and took her kicking and screaming from her home. Natsuko's pleas would fall upon deaf ears as she was carried out of the village and deep into the forest. Please, please stop. I haven't done anything. Your crimes were intended to destroy our village. So, your punishment is to suffer just as much as you made the village suffer. Two of the men forced Natsuko against a large tree, while two others tied her to it. As tightly as they had tied her up, it was assured that Natsuko would never be able to break free from the makeshift prison. Natsuko screamed at the top of her lungs and did everything she could to free herself, but it was all in vain. Even if her voice could carry to the village, no one was going to help her. Please, please don't leave me here. Don't leave me here to die. Evil has made your heart grow cold. This is the most fitting end for you, wouldn't you say? Natsuko stopped struggling, and her demeanor grew dark. Have you any last words? For this, your punishments will be far worse than mine. You have no idea what you've done to yourself and those who've conspired against me. Matsumoto motioned for the others to join him in departing. Natsuko let out a horrendous scream as the group left her to die. They sentenced an innocent person to die that day. And today, 2 guilty people have been sentenced to die. It won't correct the mistakes of the past, but it's a good start. You think my husband and I deserve to die? Of course you do. Look at what you're out here in the first place. I heard everything he said to you. He brought you out here so he could kill you. Then he's the guilty one, not me. So, are you saying I should kill him and let you live? You're both guilty of something. Everyone is guilty of something. You think your wretched species is worthy of salvation? You all harbor animosity in your hearts for others and take pleasure only in the suffering of those you don't even know. Why should I stop with the 2 of you, huh? What do you mean? Once I'm finished with you and your husband, I'm gonna cleanse this world. I'm gonna cover it in pure white. Not a single one of you will be left standing. You want to hurt others and make them suffer? Then this will be your kind's punishment. I should have done this a long time ago. To think that I gave your kind a second chance. You can't. Then find a way to stop me. Be the savior this undeserving world deserves. Allow it to continue rotting from the inside out. She then motioned for Miyuki to take her leave. Go ahead, leave. I won't chase you. But know that I will find you eventually. And I will kill you. And I'll kill your conniving husband as well. And when I'm finished, the rest of the world is gonna die. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter